Maria, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It is wonderful. Everybody in the audience is just enamored of the work that you're doing, and so we just wanted to get a chance to ask a question of you, because you'd mentioned during the show that you've had a number of opportunities, like many artists, to be able to have funding to work in your creative field. And how do you go about that, and how do you find out about that?
Well, there are lots of ways. And one thing for artists is that if you can work on your writing skills, because it's a certain skill set in applying for grants. I mean, you need to be able to answer those questions that they're asking precisely, give them the information they want. You can, almost every state has a state council of arts, and a lot of times they fund artists directly. I've received 2 travel grants from the Alaska State Council on the Arts because we live so far away from a lot of opportunities. You can apply to have them pay for your travel. In the state of Alaska, we have the Rasmussen Foundation, which is an organization that funds arts, science. Well, they fund art, culture, and health for all of Alaska, and they fund artists directly. Many states have patrons of the arts that provide opportunities for artists. From the Rasmussen Foundation, I had an opportunity to do an artist residency. I studied with Nancy Crow, and I have had 2 artist fellowships, which have allowed me to develop my studio and my materials, as well as my practice, and experiment with different things and have sort of financial support to do that. I was also funded by the Sustainable Arts Foundation, which funds artists and writers with families. A lot of times there is a stipulation. You might need to be a painter under the age of 30, or a writer with 2 kids, and you meet that qualification. You develop your portfolio. Especially for visual artists, you either learn how to photograph your work, or you pay someone to professionally photograph your work. I have someone that I've been working with for years, and it may take a little while for you to be able to get your image to look the way you want it to when you're working with someone else. The writing sample is really important, and I guess part of what you asked me was about where you can find these opportunities. There's Professional Artist Magazine has a lot on the web and in their magazine have calls for residencies, grants, opportunities to show your work. CAFE, which is KAFE, which stands for Call for Entry, has hundreds, and you just go in and you start researching it, or you Google artist opportunities for Alaskans, and things will start to pop up, and you'll start doing your research, and then you will gather the materials that they've asked for and submit them. And you may get rejected. In fact, most of the time you'll get rejected, but I would say don't give up. Because that's how they weed people out. I mean, if you stop applying for opportunities because you got rejected once, you're never going to get another opportunity. I always say that to people: don't reject yourself.
Mm-hmm. It just wasn't the right time.
Right, and there's so many variables. When you apply for something, you're competing against other artists and their portfolios and their ideas of what they want to use the money for, and the jurors, who is the jury composed of? A lot of times it's a group of people, so then they have to reach consensus. So you may be one person's favorite, but another person's least favorite, and that may be why you didn't get the funding. So I just really encourage people to take the time. If you're serious, there's money out there. People want to support artists.
But the 2 big things that seemed like it came out was a really well-written proposal,
yes,
and a really good photograph.
Yes.
Can make a big difference. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. That you just were a wealth of information today. And we had such a wonderful time having you here.
I don't know whether to believe you guys or not.